You awaken to the sound of chains. Cold iron clamps dig into your wrists, each movement grinding metal against bone. Your throat is dry, your lips cracked, and a stench of incense mixed with blood clogs your lungs. For a moment, you don't know where you are, only that you are not free. Then it returns to you. The whispers in the night, the hooded men at your door, the word they spat in your face when they bound your hands. Psyker, you are one of the cursed, or one of the blessed. It depends on who is speaking. To your neighbors, you are a danger. To the priests, you are a resource. To the Imperium, you are fuel. And today, that fuel will burn. Your feet scrape across the stone floor as you are dragged down a corridor of impossible scale. Gothic arches stretch into blackness above. Candles line the walls, flickering, their light devoured by shadows before it can reach the ceiling. Monks in black robes chant a low dirge, each syllable stabbing your mind like a needle. Every sound, every step, echoes with finality. You're not being led to judgment. You are being led to consumption. You try to speak. Your lips form words, but the guards don't answer. They don't need to. You already know. You have been chosen to feed the Golden Throne, to be one of the countless psychers sacrificed daily so that the Astronomicon may burn, guiding the ships of the Imperium through the warp. And what awaits you is not death. It is worse. Your heart pounds, but there is no escape. The Imperium's grip is total. You are no longer a person. You are a number. 1 in 10,000 plucked from the teeming billions of your hive city. A soul that will be offered in fire and pain so that the Emperor might endure one more day. Yet, part of you still clings to hope. Perhaps you will be spared. Perhaps you will be judged strong enough to serve the black ships instead, or pressed into the service of the Inquisition. But deep down, you know the truth. The chains on your arms are too tight. The look in a priest's eyes is too cold. You're not being tested. You are being delivered. The chanting grows louder. The smell of ash thickens. And ahead, in the endless shadows, you glimpse a light, golden, blinding, searing your mind like the first rays of a newborn star. It is not salvation. It is the throne. Open Book Part 1, continued. The Chosen. The golden light grows brighter as you are dragged forward, step after step, deeper into the heart of the cathedral ship. The chains on your arms pull tight. Your body aches, but what truly burns is inside your skull. Your mind feels heavy, full of static, as though the Emperor's presence already claws at your thoughts. The chanting grows into a roar. Hundreds of voices thunder in unison, shaking the stone beneath your feet. It is a hymn older than memory, sung in a tongue no mortal speaks except when guided by the priesthood. You cannot understand the words, yet the meaning slices into your heart. Obedience. Sacrifice. Glory. You stumble as the corridor opens into an immense chamber. You have seen temples before. This is no temple. This is a maw. The ceiling rises so high it disappears into blackness. Pillars shaped like weeping saints stretch upward, their stone faces cracked, tears of molten wax dripping from the candles lodged in their eyes. At the center, a dais of obsidian rises, upon which stands an altar blackened by centuries of ash. Behind it, a colossal mural depicts the Emperor himself, immortal, radiant, triumphant. His eyes blaze with painted fire, staring down at you as though to measure your worth. The guards shove you forward. You fall to your knees before the altar. The iron chains rattle. Your heart pounds like a war drum. A figure emerges from the shadows. The confessor. He is draped in robes the color of dried blood, lined with parchment strips covered in holy scripture. His face is hidden behind a golden mask etched with the imperial Aquila. In one hand, he carries a staff topped with a burning censer. In the other, a serrated knife glimmers. He speaks, his voice booming and hollow. You are chosen. You are called. You are fuel for the eternal light. Rejoice, for your death will feed the Emperor, and through him, humanity shall endure. The crowd of priests and guards respond in unison. Glory to the Emperor. Glory to the throne. Glory to sacrifice. The words slam into you like hammer blows. Your throat tightens. This is real. There is no escape. You whisper, whether to yourself or to some greater force you do not know, I don't want to die. But the confessor hears. He tilts his mask toward you. Then die well, he answers. The guard sees your shoulders and force you onto the altar. Your back presses against cold stone slick with old blood. The smell is unbearable. Iron, smoke, and something sweet cloying like rotting flowers. The confessor raises his hands. The chanting grows louder still, now joined by the tolling of bells somewhere deep within the cathedral's belly. The sound is deafening, vibrating through your bones. Your body trembles. But worse, your mind burns. The Emperor's psychic pull gnaws at your skull. It is as though a hand made of pure fire has reached into your thoughts and begun to tear them apart. You scream, not with your mouth, but inside your mind. The air shimmers around you as sparks of uncontrolled warp energy burst free, flickering like dying stars. The guards tighten your chains. The confessor places the knife against your chest. His masked face leans close. You will be remembered, he whispers. For as long as humanity sails the stars, your agony will light the way. Then the blade bites. You convulse. Blood spills across the altar. But it is not death that comes. Not yet. Instead, you feel yourself unravel. The knife is only the beginning. The true sacrifice is not of flesh, it is of the soul. A tearing sound fills the chamber, though no ears could hear it. You feel your essence being drawn upward, pulled through your body, dragged screaming into the golden light. You see visions, impossible, endless visions, stars collapsing, ships adrift in the warp, demons clawing at reality's veil. And above it all, a single throne of fire and gold, upon which sits the Emperor, his body broken, his will eternal. He does not look at you. He does not thank you. He consumes you, and the light devours everything. The light swallows you. Your soul stretches thinner and thinner, like molten metal drawn across a forge. The chanting fades into a distant drone, muffled as though you are sinking beneath dark waters. You expect death. You expect silence. But death does not come. Instead, you find yourself suspended in a place without form, a void filled with whispers. Countless voices call out in despair, each one a fragment of someone who came before you. They scream, they weep, they beg, but above all they burn. For you are not the first sacrifice. You are one of billions. You glimpse faces torn apart by centuries. Men, women, children, each reduced to echoes, drifting like ashes in a cosmic storm. Their torment becomes your torment. Their suffering feeds into your own. And all of this endless agony, rises like smoke toward a throne of gold. The golden throne. You see it, though your eyes are gone. You feel it, though you have no body. A mountain of machines and tubes, greater than cities, endless as time itself. At its summit sits a corpse with eyes of fire. The Emperor. His gaze pierces you, not with mercy, not with love, but with hunger. And then the fire surges forward. Your essence, your soul, every secret thought you ever had is dragged screaming into his light. It scalds, it tears, it unravels, but also sustains. You realize in the final moment the truth. You are not dying for him. You are dying to him. Back on a mortal plane, your body convulses violently on the altar. Warp light bursts from your eyes, mouth, and wounds, searing the air with golden sparks. The priests scream their hymns louder, desperate to drown out the psychic wails. Some guards turn away. They have seen this before, yet it never grows easier. To watch a soul torn apart is to watch a mirror of your own mortality. But the confessor does not look away. His mask stares down at you as he presses the knife deeper into your chest, guiding your blood across engraved channels in the altar. The stone drinks it, and the runes ignite with crimson fire. By your blood, the Astronomicon shines, he intones. By your suffering, humanity sails the stars. Your scream joins the chorus of 1,000,000 other psychers whose lives have been extinguished in the same ritual. Yet it is not merely pain. It is terror, awe, and a terrible understanding that you were born only for this moment. And then, darkness. You awaken, not on the altar, not among the priests, but somewhere else. You stand in a void of shifting shadows. Flames flicker in the distance, though there is no ground beneath your feet. You feel lighter, thinner, yet painfully aware. And then you hear it. A voice. Not the confessor. Not the emperor. Something older. Something vast. It slithers across your thoughts like oil. Why do you give yourself to him? Why suffer for the corpse god when freedom lies here with us? You turn. In the shadows, eyes bloom like stars, red, infinite, hungry. The warp has noticed you. The shadows coil around you like serpents. The flames in the distance flare and twist, illuminating shapes that should not exist. Limbs bending the wrong way, faces splitting into endless mouths that scream in unison. Your chains are gone, yet a weight presses upon your soul, pulling you toward the abyss. The voice speaks again, closer now, curling around your mind. Gulme, you were born of the Emperor, yet you belong to us. Every shred of agony, every pulse of fear you felt, it is a beacon. You burn for him, and now you can burn for yourself. Your hands tremble, though no hands remain. You feel the echoes of the ritual still lingering. The golden fire that once consumed your essence, now a memory carved into the marrow of your being. And yet, as the voice calls, a forbidden temptation flickers. Power, knowledge, freedom. A shape emerges from the flickering flames. Its form shifts constantly, like smoke caught in a storm. One moment, it is a tall, cloaked figure, the next a writhing mass of teeth and eyes. Yet you sense its intelligence. Its hunger is not for your flesh, but for the potential trapped within your mind. You were offered to the throne, it hisses, and you burned. Now you may choose, serve a corpse, or become a god in the shadows. The memories of the altar flood back, the knife biting into your chest, the chains that held you, the voices of the priests screaming in ecstatic devotion, and the fire, the all-consuming fire of the Emperor's will. For an instant, doubt claws at you. Could you ever abandon the Imperium? Could you betray a fate that has been written since before your birth? And then the whispers come, not one voice, but millions. Voices of psychers who never made it back, their souls lingering in the warp, crying for freedom, screaming against the golden light. They took you. They consumed you. But they cannot have all of you. A flicker of defiance sparks in your mind. For the first time, you taste it. Fear mixed with exhilaration, terror fused with power. You realize that the Emperor did not break you. He changed you. And now, in this place between life and death, the warp itself bends to your will. Your hands, or what once were hands, flare with energy. The void responds. Flames twist into shapes you command. Shadows obey. Stars collapse and reform in your vision. A cosmic playground of destruction. The voice recoils, almost amused. So you awaken. Interesting. You are stronger than I expected. But beware. Even here, even now, the throne watches. You turn your gaze inward. You feel the golden light still clinging to fragments of your soul. Faint but persistent. The Emperor is not gone. He waits, always waiting. His hunger, his will, it is eternal. And yet, the warp hums beneath your skin, whispering of paths not yet taken. Paths that lead to freedom or annihilation. The choice crystallizes before you. To return to the mortal plane as a servant, a weapon of the Imperium, bound forever to the golden throne's insatiable fire. To embrace the warp, to become something unholy, something beyond humanity, to seize the power the universe has offered you, at a cost you cannot yet imagine. Your mind screams. Your soul aches. The whispers grow louder, more insistent, more beautiful in their cruelty. The choice is not simple. There is no safety. There is no mercy. And yet a spark ignites. A single defiant thought. I am more than a number. I am more than fuel. I am mine. The shadows surge forward, enveloping you. The warp calls, endless and hungry, promising dominion and doom. And as you step into it, you feel your essence stretch, split, and recombine. You're no longer fully of the Emperor, nor are you fully of this place. You're something else, something born of sacrifice and shadow. And in that moment, the first true taste of freedom burns on your tongue. The void trembles around you. Your essence stretches and coils as if the warp itself tests your limits. Shapes solidify in the darkness, creatures of impossible geometry, some clawing at your mind, others bowing as if recognizing a master. You sense them, lost psychers, the echoes of sacrifices, their whispers now forming into a single, coherent voice. You survived what none should. You are no longer human. You are something else. A vision erupts before you. Entire fleets lost to the warp, titanic demons feasting on reality, planets reduced to ash, and yet, at the center, a golden throne, a corpse of godhood, eyes ablaze, waiting. You realize the throne sees you. Even now, though you are untethered and it hungers, your mind sharpens. Pain and power merge, shaping you into something both terrifying and divine. You feel the tendrils of the warp coil into your thoughts, ready to obey, ready to annihilate. But amidst the chaos, a singular thought anchors you. I will not be fuel again. The whispers grow into a roar. Your new form pulses with energy, casting shadows that writhe and twist like living nightmares. A single command escapes your lips, though there is no mouth, and the warp obeys. Flames rise, forming colossal wings behind you, eyes opening on every feather. The shadows kneel, acknowledging you. You have become both predator and god within this fractured plane. And yet, the Emperor's shadow lingers in the corners of your mind, a constant reminder. The price of power is never free. The golden throne waits, eternal, hungry, patient. And somewhere in the deepest recesses of the warp, other forces watch, waiting to claim what you have become. You inhale the void, and for the first time, taste the truth. Freedom is not without peril, but it is yours to seize. The void trembles around you. Your essence stretches and coils as if the warp itself tests your limits. Shapes solidify in the darkness, creatures of impossible geometry, some clawing at your mind, others bowing as if recognizing a master. You sense them, lost psychers, the echoes of sacrifices, their whispers now forming into a single, coherent voice. You survived what none should. You are no longer human. You are something else. A vision erupts before you. Entire fleets lost to the warp, titanic demons feasting on reality, planets reduced to ash, and yet, at the center, a golden throne, a corpse of godhood, eyes ablaze, waiting. You realize the throne sees you. Even now, though you are untethered and it hungers, your mind sharpens. Pain and power merge, shaping you into something both terrifying and divine. You feel the tendrils of the warp coil into your thoughts, ready to obey, ready to annihilate. But amidst the chaos, a singular thought anchors you. I will not be fuel again. The whispers grow into a roar. Your new form pulses with energy, casting shadows that writhe and twist like living nightmares. A single command escapes your lips, though there is no mouth, and the warp obeys. Flames rise, forming colossal wings behind you, eyes opening on every feather. The shadows kneel, acknowledging you. You have become both predator and god within this fractured plane. And yet, the Emperor's shadow lingers in the corners of your mind, a constant reminder. The price of power is never free. The golden throne waits, eternal, hungry, patient. And somewhere in the deepest recesses of the warp, other forces watch, waiting to claim what you have become. You inhale the void, and for the first time, taste the truth. Freedom is not without peril, but it is yours to seize. The void trembles. The taste of freedom lingers on your mind, but it is bitter with the memory of the throne. Somewhere deep, the Emperor's psychic presence coils like a serpent, patient, eternal. It watches you, probes you, measuring your strength. You feel it reaching for the shards of your soul that remain tethered to the mortal plane. You have escaped the altar. The voice in your head rumbles, both terrifying and familiar. but you cannot escape me. The golden light returns, not as warmth, but as judgment. It scours the edges of the warp, searching for the part of you that belongs to him. Pain strikes you where it had never touched before. Flashes of your life, of every moment you were claimed, every shred of your essence sacrificed. It burns, a psychic lash across your consciousness. Yet, you are no longer the same. The warp flows through you now, each tendril of energy a part of your will. You respond, not with fear, but with defiance. Shadows twist into jagged spears of light and dark, and the psychic scream of your new power echoes across the void. For the first time, you strike back. The Emperor's shadow recoils at your audacity, but it is not defeated. The psychic storm between you rages, a battle without form or physicality. Stars flare and die in visions. Demons howl in anticipation, and the echoes of a billion psychers cheer and cry in unison. Their voice is the chorus of your rebellion. You glimpse the mortal plane, the hive cities, the Inquisition, the Golden Throne itself. All mere specks beneath the warp, fragile and insignificant compared to the power you now wield. You feel the temptation to return, to exact vengeance, to remake the Imperium according to your will. But a voice whispers from the darkness. Power is never given freely. It devours. It corrupts. Are you ready to bear its cost? You hesitate, then embrace it. Your essence stretches, solidifies, and fractures all at once. You're no longer human. You're no longer merely a tool of sacrifice. You are a predator of the warp, a god in shadow and flame. And yet the Emperor's gaze never wavers. He waits, eternal, insatiable. And now, so do you. The war of wills begins. The void shakes. You roar, not with a mouth, but with the psychic force of a being born of fire, shadow, and defiance. The Golden Throne may have claimed billions, but it has never faced you before. And you are just beginning. The void begins to bleed. The warp trembles under your will, and the mortal plane quakes in response. Hive cities erupt in psychic storms. Lights flicker, machinery shudders, and citizens clutch their heads as whispers claw at their minds. The screams are distant yet intimate, as if every mind you pass hears your rage and freedom. From the shadows of the warp, you extend your influence. Buildings twist and writhe as if alive, metal bending, stone cracking, and warp energy searing the air. Inquisitors scramble, sensing a psychic disturbance that surpasses all known danger. They call for psychers, for void ships, for the Emperor's protection, but none can approach the magnitude of what you have become. You see the Golden Throne, still distant, still watching. Its gaze is a constant weight on your mind, yet you feel something new, defiance. You realize that your suffering has birthed power no number of sacrifices could ever contain. You are more than fuel. You are an anomaly, a storm incarnate. Yet the warp hungers, always hungry, and it whispers again, offering choices you have never known: power, dominion, vengeance, or salvation. The voices of those who were lost in the throne's fire cry out, urging you forward. You lift your essence high, a beacon of psychic light and shadow, and strike at the machinery of the hive city below. The city screams, and the Imperium takes notice. The Astronomicon flickers as though sensing a fault in its eternal flame. News spreads like wildfire. A rogue psyker of impossible strength has awakened. Legends, myths, and prayers collide as you move, unseen but felt, across the stars. And in the distance, the Emperor waits. Patient, eternal, hungry. You are no longer merely a pawn of fate. You are a force of reckoning. The psychic storms you unleash ripple through the Imperium like a plague. Across hive worlds, signals flicker and die. Starships lose their course as the Astronomicon wavers under your influence. Navigators scream in silent panic, their minds straining against the chaotic pull of your power. Entire sectors teeter on the brink of disaster. The Inquisition moves swiftly. Strike fleets, exterminate teams, and battle-hardened psychers converge, attempting to contain the anomaly that you have become. Yet each attack is met with overwhelming psychic counterforce. Shadows coil into blades, fire erupts from your eyes, and warp energy lashes across the battlefield like sentient serpents. Even the most disciplined Astartes hesitate before you, sensing an entity far beyond comprehension. From the distant throne room, the Emperor's gaze intensifies. You feel it like a crushing weight pressing into your very essence. Every psychic strike you wield, every act of rebellion, is measured and countered in ways subtle yet terrifying. Yet your defiance does not waver. If the throne wishes to consume you, it will have to meet you in the storm you have become. The warp whispers grow insistent. Visions of untold power flash through your mind. The ability to reshape entire worlds, to command fleets without even leaving the void, to summon demons bound to your will. The price is steep: corruption, torment, and a tether to forces that could unmake you. But temptation claws at your sanity. And in the center of it all, you realize a truth both exhilarating and horrifying. The Imperium's grip is fracturing. The golden throne, eternal and unyielding for millennia, falters. And you, once fuel, once sacrifice, may be the catalyst for its undoing. With a roar that shakes both warp and reality, you ascend higher into the void, a storm incarnate, ready to carve your name into the history of the galaxy. The warp bends around you. Your power has grown to a scale that mortals cannot comprehend. Entire hive worlds are trembling under your influence. Starships are lost in the chaos of the Astronomican's faltering light, and demons, sensing your strength, begin to converge. From the shadows of the void, you see them. Agents of the Imperium, High Lords, Inquisitors, and Astartes captains, marshaled to stop what they call an abomination. They move like ants against a storm. And yet, you sense something older, something far more dangerous. The lingering psychic shadow of the Emperor himself, reaching toward you, calculating, patient, eternal. You raise your arms, or the remnants of them, and the void responds. Shadows coil into titanic forms. Warp energy lashes into the faces of your enemies. Demons bow and writhe under your command. You are no longer a single being. You are a nexus of psychic might, a god of shadow and fire. The Imperium strikes back. Fleets of void ships, Astartes squads, and psychers of every caliber launch coordinated assaults. Beams of energy clash with your aura. Explosions ripple through the void, and psychic attacks tear at your mind. Pain erupts, but you endure. You are not flesh anymore. You are defiance incarnate. And then a single truth hits you. The Emperor is watching. Not as a god of mercy, not as a father, but as a predator. His hunger is eternal, and every act of rebellion, every surge of power, is measured and countered. You scream into the void, not with a mouth, but with psychic force, and the shockwave tears through enemy ranks. The High Lords tremble. The Inquisitors falter. Even the demons hesitate as they recognize a will rivaling eternity itself. You're no longer fuel. You're not sacrifice. You're something new. And in the heart of the warp, amid the chaos, a single thought crystallizes. If the Emperor will not release me, then I will shape reality around him. The storm of warp energy swirls, eyes of lost psychers opening in the darkness, flames and shadows dancing. And you prepare to strike at the very heart of the Imperium itself. The void is no longer empty. It quivers, alive with your will. Hive cities shatter under psychic assault. Starships collide in orbit, and the Astronomican flickers, its light weakening under the strain of your power. The Imperium braces, yet every effort to contain you fails. You are everywhere and nowhere, a storm incarnate. The Emperor's shadow looms closer, immense and unyielding, golden fire and psychic wrath radiating like a star about to collapse. His presence presses into your mind, testing, tearing, and demanding obedience. But you're no longer a tool, no longer a pawn of sacrifice. You are defiance made flesh, shadow made manifest. The warp bends to your will. Tendrils of fire and shadow lash across the stars, tearing open rifts into the Imperium. Demons scream in ecstasy, bound unwillingly yet fascinated by your mastery. Across the mortal plane, the Imperium is chaos incarnate. Fleets lost, psychers burning out, entire worlds thrown into panic. In a single instant, you see it, the Golden Throne. Immense, eternal, its corpse god figure staring with eyes that burn not with love, but with hunger. All the sacrifices of 1,000,000 years pulse in its gaze. And yet, for the first time, you feel something impossible. The throne wavers. Its psychic grip falters against the storm of your defiance. You raise your mind, casting a single thought across the galaxy. I am no longer yours. Reality bends. Stars crack. Void ships spiral into the abyss, and the psychers lost to the throne whisper your name in awe and envy. You are no longer a servant of fire. You are the fire itself.